Hello, Lou Hamilton from Audible Elegance here in Cincinnati, Ohio. We're located a couple doors north of the Montgomery Inn on Montgomery Road, across the street from Montgomery Cyclery. We do work on Facebook, Instagram, and X. I also write a monthly blog when I can get to it. And today I thought I would talk about the mistakes that I see made by both reviewers and people who wish to audition products in their home. And the biggest mistake is, and bar none, is that when they change a piece of equipment, it could be the turntable, preamp, power amp, and different that, or they're screwing around with cables and playing with that. One of the things they fail to do is to move their speakers and revoice them. And I've seen this time and time again in reviews. If you got your speakers properly positioned for a set of equipment where it really performs its best, when you start changing what's going into the speaker, there's a pretty good chance you're going to be changing the total balance, and how that interacts with the room can be very different. And so the failure to move the speakers, to revoice them to what you're playing with, will give you false results. And it's one of the reasons we discourage people, borrowing equipment and trying it in their home, because they're not paying attention to the details that have to be done in order to properly evaluate what they're listening to. Years ago, I saw this happen with a change of equipment on a very good set of speakers. They were the reincarnation of the Dahlquist series, a really worthy product at its time. And they hauled off and put a series of equipment and their favorite cables, whatever, into these things and got absolutely miserable results. And I'm sorry, but they blew a review and actually probably killed the company. And that was a real shame. You have to move the speakers and understand what's going on in your room if you start changing equipment. So this is going to be fairly short and very brief. So if you're the type of person who's the hobby is, going through equipment all the time, please take the time to reset your speakers when you're trying to evaluate what you purchased. Because otherwise, you're running a chance that they're going to perform what they receive, but it's not working within your acoustical environment. So here's part 2 of it. I recently purchased a used LP12, which have rebuilt. It's a wonderful sounding little deck, and once we get it finished, we'll probably put it up for sale. But we changed the phono preamp on this system. As a matter of fact, we took a higher end out, and we're just using the line, the one that's built into the Rogue preamplifier. Oh, by the way, for you people who want bedroom blue, there it is. And when we started listening to the system, it didn't sound right at all. And I was listening to it, and in fact, what I had to do was reposition the Martin Logan speakers. I moved them out probably about 7 inches. I also changed the tilt on it. As you can see in the corner, I have ASE tube traps. I actually had to reset these to what I was hearing. And we did an article on tube traps, and they're quite an art, and we do represent ASC. These are not things you want to, pick up and just start screwing around with your system, because most of the time you'll make it a mess. There's a real art to these. But we actually had to reset these, both the lower bass trap as well as the higher frequencies. That's what the smaller cylinder is about, and reposition the speakers. So I was not going to evaluate what I was hearing based upon keeping the speakers identically where we had them before with the equipment we had. We actually had to reset the speakers, and the results we got were actually quite a bit better. Again, experience, play with the position of the speakers if you're changing equipment. Thank you.